What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk again about Kingdom Hearts. I want to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3's DLC, which we have talked about quite a bit on the channel, but I want to talk about how that relates to Kingdom Hearts 4. Does that delay or does that push off Kingdom Hearts 4? And there's a couple things I want to talk about in regards to that. In the last video, a couple weeks ago, we talked about the DLC in general. That is it being delayed? You know, I think a lot of the maybe mainstream confusion, I think if you follow Nomura, you follow Kingdom Hearts well enough, and then you can pretty much piece together everything. However, if you're outside of that, if you're just a casual person that picked up Kingdom Hearts 3 or whatever, especially the DLC is a little bit confusing to piece together of what's free, what's being paid for, when's this all coming out. His comments that, originally it definitely seemed like it was going to be in 2019, then it was talked about now where it's like winter, and you normally don't say winter if you mean 2019. Winter, I mean, sometimes December games do happen, December DLCs do happen, but for the most part, that normally means like January, February period. So you have all that, and we talked about that. We talked about if Kingdom Hearts 3's DLC has been delayed, which I personally do believe it has. I think just judging by his comments, considering, again, he said, right when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, he said he would like to, and again, I'm not blaming him. I'm not criticizing him. These things happen. You need to, you gotta have the game polished. You gotta have the DLC polished. I don't want it coming out before it's actually ready. So I totally get that. That's fine. There's enough games to play from September to November as it is. I don't necessarily even need this DLC. If it came out in November, I think that'd be a very bad idea. December, it could work out a little bit better. It would maybe make more sense for a 1-year anniversary. But what does this do for Kingdom Hearts 4? Well, you have to think, and Nomura is a busy person, and he spawns multiple teams that are working on different things all the time. And the Kingdom Hearts team, they've never, I feel, been in this exact situation before. In terms of the mainstream, in terms of like just people looking at it, you got to remember a couple things about mainstream. They don't know the story. They play Kingdom Hearts, some of them for the main reason of just experiencing the Disney worlds because they like Sora, Donald, Goofy, whatever, for the convolutedness of the story. All fair criticisms. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I recently jumped in over the last year, have learned the story front to back, respect it for sure, and follow along with it. But, I was once one of them, and I can totally see why people think this story is convoluted and that you shouldn't be able to follow this. If you're a busy person that doesn't necessarily care about Kingdom Hearts, there's no way you're following the story. But to them, you look at Kingdom Hearts 3 and you see main success. You see huge success. This game sold not just the fastest of any Kingdom Hearts game, but recently, over the last couple weeks, it was said that it's now the highest selling Kingdom Hearts game ever. So before, it was only the fastest selling game. Now it is the highest selling. It sold the most copies than any other Kingdom Hearts game. So if you're Square Enix, if you're Nomura's team, or even if you're just a general onlooker, right? You see Kingdom Hearts 3 and you see, wow, this game is finally out. Firstly, right? It came out in 2019. It's finally out. It's out for the modern generation. People have been waiting for this game for so long, even though there's been all these games in between to kind of set it up to where we were going. But it's finally out. It was decent enough, right? I think if you're us, the people that have followed us for the community series, the people that really we talk about Kingdom Hearts quite seriously, the theories, the stories, and all that stuff. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 was good. I think it was above average. I think they made so many mistakes. I think the story was a huge letdown. A lot of the big things they tried to do, I think, were big letdowns. I feel like that's kind of echoed. But if you're just bought the game, all the millions of people that bought the game, not all of them are us, or we're not all of them. Either way you look at it. So for them, they see this game that sold more than any Kingdom Hearts game, and I think that puts a lot of pressure on the team because you do need to replicate this, and you do need a new game out relatively soon. Am I saying you annualize it? Am I saying it's going to be out in a year and a half? No, absolutely not. This is a game that I don't expect out for another 3 years in the absolute. For a normal development team, this would be a 3-year thing. You have a game that comes out that has wide success, that gets reviewed pretty well in terms of the critics, in terms of game journalism, depending on how much you even respect them. I certainly don't. But you have them give the game pretty okay scores in the 80s or in the 8s out of 10, right? And then you have people buy it like hotcakes, and obviously people rejoice. People are making videos that they're crying because of how excited they are that this game is finally out, the emotions that hit them, right? And that's all awesome. But you don't have that kind of success without having to, you get the next one out faster than you have been. And I think what's always plagued them, and what's plagued them in most people's eyes, is just how slow they are at getting these out. I understand they've had so many side games, right? 358 over 2, Dream Drop Distance, I mean, Chain of Memories. And I can keep going because there are so many. There seems to almost be an endless amount. There's even the phone game. So there's a lot there, right? And I get that. That's totally cool. I don't think you can have a spin-off next. And that's definitely a video we could talk about next, that if there could be a spin-off or a Kingdom Hearts 4. I think a lot of people did jump to when 3 ended that maybe there would be a spin-off game, that they don't think that 4 would happen right away. I agree. I think it's possible that Nomura thought that, or is thinking that he would like to do it. But again, because of the mainstream success of this game, I feel like 4 kind of has to come sooner rather than later. And no matter what, it cannot take this long again. This game needs to be out. No matter what Kingdom Hearts game comes next, it needs to be out, in my belief, within the next 5 years. I 100% believe it. And I don't think that's being unfair at all. 5 years is plenty enough time to make a game. Do I understand that like 70% of it is cutscenes and like the animation team and the people that do that kind of stuff? I'm sure they worked very, very hard, and they easily did the best job of anybody that was working on Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, I get that, but this game cannot take more than 5 years to come out. And I mean 5 years from 2019. I know by the time we get this DLC, I feel like it's going to be 4 years. And that's the ultimate point of this. Does the DLC push off Kingdom Hearts 4? Does the DLC push off whatever is next for Kingdom Hearts? Because while the DLC is great, and while we're all going to play it, right, in terms of like the people watching this video, we'll all play it. We'll all enjoy it. There'll be more videos on our channel, on the internet in general. There'll be more people talking about the secret ending, right, of that DLC story. There's going to be a lot more out there, but it's a year after Kingdom Hearts 3. The hype is pretty much because the internet is a fast-moving thing. People's minds are fast-moving, and they tend to just forget things or let things go pretty quickly in replace of something else. In another year, another half year, when the DLC comes out, let's say January, it's been a year since Kingdom Hearts 3, and I've talked about before, stats show most people will not buy that DLC. Okay, say the game sold 7-8 million copies, or say it's at 8 million by the time the DLC comes out. I say less than 1 million people buy this DLC. That's my opinion, but that's also kind of what stats show. Most people do not buy the DLC. Most people do not even beat the story of these games. I guarantee you 80+% of people didn't even beat the story of Kingdom Hearts 3. That's literally just how it works, because people don't really play games all the way through. They just don't. So for the most part, you've lost the mainstream hype. You've lost the mainstream talk of this game. But with all that being said, it's still sold very, very well, right? You need the next one because people need to be able to talk about and get ready for that future game. And could that still be 4 years down the line? Are we looking at like 2024 for the next game, in the middle of the next generation? Yeah, I think so. I think that's honestly very, very possible that that's when we get it. Do I think it kind of needs to be Kingdom Hearts 4? Yeah, I do. I actually think it needs to continue the main story that we've gotten on this game. We live in a gaming world where, yes, spin-offs and things like this are very, very possible, and they do happen. We're in a month. I think this video may come out after this happens, but we're in a month even of July where I am, where Wolfenstein Youngblood, say, came out. And Wolfenstein Youngblood is kind of like Wolfenstein 2.5, right? It's right in the middle. They literally say it's going to set up Wolfenstein 3. It's only $30. This kind of stuff happens, and I don't know if the studio for Kingdom Hearts can, or even Square Enix in general, can afford to wait 5 years, have a quote-unquote like side game, but be a full game. I mean, it'll be like 30, 40 hours. It'll tell a full and complete story. It just won't be the mainline story. I don't know if that works now, because most of the times that people are doing that, most games that do that now, they're half price. They're not $60. And I understand that the value for Kingdom Hearts may be more than those games, but they're not full price. They take less time to make. We had Wolfenstein 2 just 2 years ago in 2017, so it only took them less than 2 years to make Youngblood, and then I assume in another 2 years, or maybe less, we'll get Wolfenstein 3. So, like, development time is shorter. The prices are going down in terms of these kind of middle games. And again, although from the hardcore fans, if they made made a spin-off game, would it seem to us like it's not a spin-off? Absolutely. But to some it may, and that could get you into trouble. But no matter what, this DLC, if this DLC keeps getting pushed, this pushes the next Kingdom Hearts game, and no matter what, I feel like that's kind of trouble. I feel like that's something you definitely don't want to dabble in, because I think people's hunger for another Kingdom Hearts experience, and you can say, well, Alex, that is an experience. Yeah, it is, but is it gonna be 30 hours? No, it's gonna be like under 10. I think under 10 is being very, very gracious to it. It'll probably be less than that. But you have that, and yeah, that's good. That's good for anybody that really is just hoping for the next piece to Kingdom Hearts. That's definitely awesome. But it's not a full, quote-unquote, full experience. It's not you're not going to spend $60 on it. People haven't been waiting for it for 15 years. So I feel like it's going to be satisfying. It's going to be good to get this DLC. But at the same time, if it's pushing back the next Kingdom Hearts game, I feel like that is trouble. And I want the next Kingdom Hearts game sooner rather than later. While I am a massive fan, and yeah, this channel, we've had tons of videos. We had the community series. I used to be, and I still am, part of the group that still does believe that these games just take way too long, and there's really no need for them to take this long to come out. I think it's very fair to criticize the length of development time for this game while also being a fan. I think that's fair, but that's just me. And in general, these are just my opinions. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think that this DLC is pushing off the next Kingdom Hearts game? Do you think Kingdom Hearts 4 is next? Anything that I said that you guys want to comment back to, definitely do that down below. Make sure you guys also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And again, we cover Kingdom Hearts quite often on this channel. Once we get closer to DLC, we'll be making tons more videos about it. We'll be playing the DLC, having coverage, all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.